Yo, this is Rashad Farrow with Universal Unity, Love I Am. Thank you for joining me today. I'm super grateful. I hope everyone is doing wonderful on this beautiful day. Right now we live in a 2025 year. In numerology, 2025 represents a 9 year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. Nines represent the ending of old cycles, the endings of old ways of being. And anywhere where there is an ending, there is always a new beginning, you see. And 2025 for me, there has been many endings. There has been many endings of old cycles. There have been many endings of old ways of being, perspectives, the ways I perceived things, the ways I perceived myself, addictions, habits that no longer serve me. And through the ending of every one of these perspectives and old ways of being and old ways of thinking, a new higher expression of myself has been birthed. And now I see that, man, for me in my life, it has been very true. I didn't plan any of these cycles to end. It just happened when it was time. And the most recent cycle that has come to an end and the newest beginning for me has been uh, going plant based, the ending of eating meat, at least for now. I don't know the future, but the way I feel now in this moment, it is going to be a continuous thing. There has been many benefits for me going plant based. Now, I would not consider myself vegan. I like to take baby steps and things because when I when I set too big of goals, sometimes I can get overwhelmed and then I just don't do anything at all. So I've learned for me the best way moving forward with accomplishing things and getting things done is taking baby steps. And so right now I am just uh, meatless per se. I still eat things that may have eggs in it or may have dairy in it. Um, and that is what is working best for me right now. But I used to be one of those people that believed that it didn't matter what you did, it was about your intention. For instance, if someone said that you couldn't connect with source or you couldn't connect with your highest self or receive guidance if you smoked, I would have said, I don't believe that. If someone said you couldn't connect with source or your highest self, um, or higher information if you ate meat, I would have said, I don't believe that. It's about your intention. It's about how strong your will is. It's about your mentality. Do you believe in yourself? And I still believe in that, of course, because it all begins in here and right here in the heart and in the mind. But now that I've made certain changes in my life, now that I've changed certain habits, now that I've changed the way that I eat, I see that it is true. You see, everyone can receive guidance, everyone can tap in with their higher self. But you see, the less clear your vessel and channel is, the more distorted the message may be, the more your ego may put a twist on the information that is coming through. So, since I've quit eating meat, I've experienced many benefits. Many. When I was still eating meat, I didn't realize the effect it was having on my body. You see, um, as I began my meditation journey, as I began to raise my frequency and my vibration, I started noticing certain things in my body that didn't make sense. I was in my mind, I was thinking, man, I'm healing, I'm bringing love and light into my body. So why is my digestion now getting messed up? Man, how come it seems like my skin isn't as clear? How come sometimes it feels like I have less energy, things of that nature. And then I began to realize it was because my body was raising in frequency. I was raising in frequency, my energy was expanding. So certain old ways of being was not resonating with the functionality of my body anymore. So one of those things was meat. As I began to raise my frequency, my vibrational frequency, um, and establish a new baseline, because I was still putting a low vibration into my body, it was creating a defect in my body, you see. And it took a while. to really realize what that was. So a couple months ago, I started to feel guided to kind of change my eating habits, go a little more organic, more consciously choose and intuitively pick my foods, my meals, and what I want to eat. And then a month ago, 4 weeks ago today, I watched a documentary called Christspiracy. And in that documentary, it's online for free. In that documentary, the theme was the Christ a vegetarian? And if so, how do you spiritually unalive an animal? And how did the Christ unalive animals if he did eat meat? And a part of me felt guided to watch this, so I did. And I went in it just with the curiosity of, this sounds like an interesting topic. And by the time I finished it, I thought, wow, you know what? I don't think eating meat is for me anymore. And I think it was the very next day, I just stopped. I said, you know what? I'm done eating meat. I'm gonna just go for 7 days and I'm gonna take it from there. Baby steps. I'm gonna see how it feels. I wish I would have made a video updating every week on how I felt different, because now that it's been a month, it's all just kind of come together. But I do know that within the first few days, within the first week, I immediately started to tell a difference in my energy level and my digestion. I began just to feel lighter, per se. And now that it's been a whole month, my skin has cleared way more up. I have much clearer skin. Um, my bowel movements are way more regular and healthy. In general, I feel much more lighter. I feel way more full of joy. But above all, my connection to source, my connection to my higher self, my connection to higher states of consciousness, my connection to higher dimensions within myself has gone through the roof profoundly for me. Um, since now 30 days after stop eating meat, man, my ability to receive information, my ability to receive new ideas, my ability to raise my vibration and frequency in meditation and to get into a deeper state of consciousness in meditation, all of that, it's expanded profoundly. My energy is expanded. I feel more floaty. I feel free. I feel a higher connection to animals. It's almost like animals can tell that I don't have rotting meat in my intestines and in my belly anymore. It's almost like nature can tell a difference that that I just have natural things in my body for the most part. You know, I eat pastas and things of that nature, but I try to eat a lot of vegetables, fruits, and nuts and natural things. Now, I personally, thus far, feel going meatless has helped me in many ways, physically and spiritually. And the biggest downfall that I would say is that, man, consciously choosing your food, consciously having to choose meals, if you're not used to that, it can be a little difficult, because now you have to pick everything you're going to eat every day. And then you have to make sure you have the ingredients for it. And then you're basically cooking these meals from scratch every day. And, if you're not used to doing that, then it definitely takes a little more time. I'm someone that I genuinely feel I get most of my energy from my spiritual practices. I get most of my energy from my energetic centers in my body. And man, if it was up to me, if I could do it right now, I wish I didn't even have to eat. To me, eating food, having to plan hours dedicated to grocery shopping, making food from scratch and eating food, it just feels very human to me. It feels very survival like. And I'm here having this human experience, and that is part of this human experience. So it is what it is. I got to do what I got to do. But if it was a perfect world, I would thrive from my spiritual energy. And as I raise my frequency and make certain changes in my life, I'm able to pull from my power centers and the ethers and the nature energy to fuel me more than food. But of course, this is a journey and it takes practice. And yeah, so it is what it is. But back to, oh yeah, the cons. That's the biggest con for me, is just the planning, putting more effort into it, having to dedicate more time to creating plant-based meals. But as time goes, a few months from now, I'll be a pro at it, and I may just have to get into meal prep more. You know what I'm saying? But there's many delicious foods you can eat. If you're not one that's used to eating fruits and vegetables a lot, you may think that that won't satisfy you, but I'm telling you it does. Your body wants nutritious foods. So if you're eating chicken strips all the time, and I don't know, just eating fast foods or out to eat or quick foods, you may think that that is what fuels you. But once you begin to start eating healthier, more organic or plant-based, you do what you can just to make more healthier choices, you'll begin to see that your body begins to crave that more, instead of being at work and thinking about what you're going to eat when you get off Buffalo Wild Wings, or I don't know, whatever it is that you eat. You'll realize that your body starts craving, man, I can't wait to get off and eat some tomatoes and cucumbers. You'll be sitting there, instead of daydreaming about whatever it is you normally daydream about, you'll be sitting there thinking about, man, I can't wait to go eat a salad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, uh, but you have to get your body the option, and then once it sees that it has an option, then your body's going to want to choose what's best for it. But it's up to you to become aware of what your body wants and needs, and then to move towards that. So that's what I'm trying to do more of. And for me, I realized that once I began getting in tune with what my body wants, then I started to feel much better. I started to have more energy, feel more expanded, feel higher vibrational, feel higher connection, feel more creative. My automatic writing became more clear. I feel I'm able to get into these higher vibrational states within deep consciousness more quick and easier, you see. So your skin gets more clear. Uh, yeah, man, I'm happy with my decision. If anyone has any questions, uh, any deeper questions about this journey, drop a comment. I'll be happy to make another video or to drop a short more on this. I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional in biology. I'm not a professional dietitian. So I may not have all the terminology to best describe all this stuff, but I just know if you're someone that's curious and how maybe going more plant-based could benefit you, then this is why I'm dropping this video. I ate meat my whole life, so I only knew what I knew. You only know what you know until you become aware of something else, you see. So I only knew eating meat, and I didn't realize the effects it had on my body until I stopped eating meat. And now that I've stopped eating meat, I see that eating meat did cause a lower vibration as a baseline within my body. Um, it made it much harder to reach certain heights as far as being able to connect with my highest guidance in the most clear way. So I feel mentally clearer. My dream states are clearer and more high vibrational. My body feels more high vibrational and free and clear. And my overall sense of joy and well being feels higher, um, feels more joyful. So, anyways, thank you for tuning in. I hope this was helpful for anyone who may be considering going plant based. And you know what? Maybe that starts with just a few days a week. Maybe a few days a week, you just go plant based. You still eat meat, but taking baby steps. Just see how you feel. I stopped at once, and I almost immediately began to tell a difference within the first 2 or 3 days. So I'm gonna keep going with it, and we'll see where it goes. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in. I love you so much. Peace.